Hey everyone, ready to dive into the future of audiobooks. AI narration is seriously shaking things up, and we're going to break it all down.
It's pretty wild, right? Just a few years ago, the idea of AI capturing the nuances of human emotion in narration, it would have sounded like sci-fi.
Totally. And this article, Unleashing AI Voice Generators,
Mhm.
a new era for audiobook narration, is diving deep into how it's all happening.
It's really making me rethink what's possible with storytelling.
Me too. It highlights three major trends that are really changing the game: emotional resonance, multilingual capabilities, and personalized narration styles.
Okay, let's break those down.
Yeah, let's start with emotional resonance.
Yeah.
What does that even mean when we're talking about AI?
Well, their article gives this great example. Imagine an AI that can convey the joy in a character's laugh or the tension in a suspenseful scene.
So it's not just reading the words, it's actually like feeling them.
Exactly. It's about bringing that emotional depth to the narration, which could totally change how we connect with stories.
That's pretty amazing. I always thought of audiobooks as experiencing a story through someone else's voice, but this takes it to a whole other level.
It really does. It's like the AI is embodying the characters, but how does it actually work? How does it capture those emotions?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Think of it this way. These AI systems are trained on massive amounts of data, text, and audio learning to recognize all those subtle cues that convey emotion.
So it's like learning by example.
Right. And then it can analyze the text for emotional nuances, happiness, sadness, anger, even sarcasm, and adjust its delivery to match.
So it's not just reading, it's almost like acting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's using its voice to bring those emotions to life.
It's
Incredible.
That is really impressive.
Okay.
So we've got AI that can act, but what about language? I mean, can it really speak multiple languages?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the most exciting things about this technology. The article talks about how AI is breaking down those language barriers.
That's huge, especially for authors who want to reach a global audience.
Right. Imagine authors' work being accessible to listeners all over the world, regardless of what language they speak. That's a game changer.
It really is. And, it's a huge opportunity for independent authors who might not have the resources to translate and record their books in multiple languages.
Exactly. It levels the playing field.
Yeah.
It democratizes audiobook production, making it more accessible to everyone.
And it could potentially revolutionize the entire publishing industry.
It really could. So we've got AI that can act, it can speak multiple languages. What else can it do?
Yeah, what else is there?
Well, the article also talks about personalization, which is another really exciting aspect.
Okay, so how does that work?
Basically, the AI can be tailored to match the specific tone and genre of a book.
Wait, so it's not just one robotic voice reading everything the same way?
Not at all. The AI can adjust its delivery style, its pace, even its accent to fit the story perfectly.
So like if it's a cozy mystery, it'll sound different than a thriller.
Exactly. It can create the perfect atmosphere for any genre.
Now that's what I call bringing a story to life.
And the article really encourages authors to dive in and experiment to see how they can use these tools to enhance their storytelling.
So don't be afraid to embrace the AI revolution.
Exactly. This technology is evolving so quickly, and it's only going to get more sophisticated and accessible.
The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
They really are, and you don't have to jump in head first.
Hmm.
You can start small with a short story or a sample chapter, just to get a feel for what's possible.
So what does all this mean for authors and listeners?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. This technology, it's changing the game when it comes to making audiobooks, especially for authors who might not have had the resources before.
You mean like independent authors?
Exactly. And the article actually mentions this platform, authorvoices.ai, that's doing some really interesting things in this space.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them. What are they doing differently?
Well, for one, they're using AI to make high-quality audiobooks that are way more affordable and faster to produce than traditional methods.
Okay, that sounds promising.
Oh.
How much more affordable are we talking?
The article says they can create audiobooks for a fraction of the cost, like 90% less than traditional methods.
90%.
Oh.
That's huge, especially for indie authors who are often working with really tight budgets. How do they manage to do it so cheaply?
It all comes down to the power of AI. Traditional audiobook production, you've got studio time hiring narrators, editing, mastering.
Yeah.
It all adds up.
Yeah, makes sense.
But with authorvoices.ai, they're using AI to handle the narration and a lot of the post-production work, which cuts out a ton of those costs.
So it's like AI is making audiobook creation accessible to a much wider range of authors.
Exactly. It's breaking down those barriers and giving more authors the chance to share their stories in audio format.
That's awesome. And it's not just the cost, it's the speed too, right?
Right. They're saying you can have your audiobook ready in minutes, not months.
Minutes. Seriously, that's insane compared to the traditional timeline, which can take months and months.
It's a huge difference. It could completely change the way authors work. Imagine rapid releases, serialized content, even personalized audiobooks for specific listeners.
Wow, the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing. But I have to ask, with all this talk about AI taking over creative processes, are there any concerns about the quality? Will these AI-narrated audiobooks be able to capture the same nuances and emotion as a human narrator?
That's a valid concern for sure. I think a lot of people are wondering about that. But remember, this technology is constantly evolving. The AI voices are becoming more sophisticated, more expressive, more capable of conveying those subtle nuances that make a story really come alive.
So they're getting better all the time.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, the author still has control over choosing the voice and style that best fits their story. It's not about replacing human narrators entirely. It's about offering a new, more accessible option.
That makes sense. It's about expanding the possibilities for authors and giving them more tools to work with.
Right. And for listeners, it opens up a whole new world of audio content.
It's exciting to think about all the potential.
Yes.
So what else does the article highlight about authorvoices.ai? What makes them stand out?
One thing that really struck me was their emphasis on choice and flexibility. Authors aren't limited to just one voice or style. They have a huge range of professional-grade voices to choose from, each with its own unique characteristics.
Oh, wow. So there's a voice for every genre, every character.
Pretty much. And they even give authors the option to use their own voice if they want to add that personal touch.
That's cool. It's like the best of both worlds. You get the accessibility and affordability of AI narration, but you can still make it personal.
Exactly. And the flexibility doesn't stop there. Authorvoices.ai, they don't have any expensive monthly subscriptions or restrictive contracts. It's all pay as you go.
That's really interesting. So to recap, we've got AI that can create high-quality audiobooks in a fraction of the time and cost of traditional methods, plus it offers a level of personalization and flexibility that's really impressive. It's amazing how far this technology has come.
It really is.
But it also raises some big questions about the future of audiobooks. What happens next? Yeah, where do we go from here? As this AI technology keeps getting better and better, how do you think it might change the way we experience stories?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It feels like we're at the beginning of something really new with storytelling, and it's both exciting and kind of scary to think about what the future holds.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What kind of new possibilities do you see opening up for authors and for listeners?
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll see interactive audiobooks where the listener's choices actually change the story as it goes.
Oh, wow, that would be cool. Like those choose-your-own-adventure books, but in audio format.
Exactly. Or maybe AI will help us create completely new kinds of storytelling that we can't even imagine yet.
It's wild to think about all the possibilities.
Hmm.
But one thing that's clear to me is that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used in a lot of different ways.
Hmm.
It's really up to us to decide how we want to use it to shape the future of storytelling.
I agree. It's a powerful tool, and it has the potential to make stories more accessible to more people than ever before.
So as we wrap up our look at the world of AI audiobook narration, I want to leave everyone with this thought. Don't be afraid to experiment with this technology,
And don't be afraid to push the boundaries of what's possible with storytelling.
because with the power of AI, your voice can reach further and resonate deeper than ever before. That's it for this deep dive into AI audiobook narration. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.